Selamat datang. I'm Adler. Let's get to work. This is the 7th in a series of video presentations about Indonesian grammar. Pronouns. This presentation covers pronouns. Core pronouns. The bad news is that Indonesian pronouns are diverse. There are many differences between regions and between grammatical registers. The good news is that for most practical purposes, there's no point in learning the esoteric ones. The even better news is that, unlike English, there are no cases. The subject form, object form, and possessive form are the same for any given pronoun. Here are the core pronouns. First person singular, saya. Informal, aku, gue. First person plural, kami, kita. Second person singular, anda, kamu. Informal, kau, lo. Second person plural, kalian. Third person singular, dia. Plural, mereka. Singular inanimate, ini, itu, dia. Plural inanimate, ini, itu, mereka. Here are 3 supplemental factlets for the table on the previous slide. The table above includes the third person singular dia, but it does not include ia, because ia is a minor form. Ia can only be used as a subject, not as an object. Indonesian has 2 forms for you. Anda, kamu. Think vu itu, usted itu, zi undu, nin he ni, and so on. Indonesian has 2 forms for we, kami, kita. They're different. Kami does not include the listener, whereas kita does. Kami in example 1a, perkenalkan, ini teman saya. Kami bertemu di Pulau Komodo. Allow me to introduce my friend. They and I met on Komodo Island. Example 1b, kita. Mari kita hindari Komodo itu. Let's you and I avoid that Komodo dragon. Kami just happens to be more common than kita because most communication is narrative. The Chinese learner is home scot-free because they need only think woman, zusammen. By contrast, it might help other learners to use a mnemonic, such as using kami when narrating a story about your amiga, and kita when you suggest to your amiga that you go on a cita together. Here are some wrinkles that relate to differences between nouns and pronouns. Pronouns must use yang to link to an adjective. Example 2a, kamu beruntung is awkward and can be reworked as kamu yang beruntung, lucky you. Unless the sentence is a question. 2b, apakah kamu yang bahagia? Not so good. Apakah kamu bahagia? Good. Are you happy? Pronouns other than mereka cannot link to relative clauses. However, mereka is not really an exception because in this context it means orang. For example, 3, mereka yang suka Komodo. The folks who like Komodo dragons is just the same as orang yang suka Komodo. Group numbers for nouns are made using ordinal ke. By contrast, pronouns use ber plus number. Example 4, kedua anjing, both dogs, and mereka berdua, both of them. Similarly, indefinite numbers such as semua, sekalian, masing-masing go before nouns. By contrast, they go after pronouns. Masing-masing anjing, each dog. Mereka masing-masing, each of them. Practice tip. Indonesian has a strong aversion to calling someone you to their face. The learner should try their best to never say anda. Here are some common generic substitutes for an older person, pak, bu, a barista, ba, mas. Itu. Itu is a demonstrative pronoun. It also plays an important role in the noun ecosystem. Here's an inventory of its uses. Demonstrative pronoun. Itu delimits noun phrases. For example, is Komodo yang kucari a noun with a relative clause, the Komodo dragon that I'm looking for, or an equative sentence, the Komodo dragon is the one that I'm looking for. Itu solves this problem by delimiting the noun. Thus, Komodo yang kucari itu is a noun with a relative clause, whereas Komodo itu yang kucari is an equative sentence. Itu optionally marks verbs that are being used as gerunds, ing nouns, that express general activities. Example 1, menggali kuburan itu tidak sulit untuk Komodo. Grave digging is not hard for Komodo dragons. Itu can express genuses. 2, Komodo itu tidak sebuah kadal yang lain. The Komodo dragon is not as fierce as other lizards. Last but not least, itu is often falsely accused of being analogous to the. The reason for this is because itu and the tend to coincide in Indonesian English translations. Example 3a, kemarin Komodo itu menggali kuburan karena lapar. Yesterday, the Komodo dragon dug a grave because it was hungry. However, itu does not mean the. It simply means tersebut, aforementioned. Example 3b. Nyonya Waters memesan kalkun dan anggur. Kalkun itu di meja. Mrs. Waters ordered a turkey and wine. The turkey is on the table. If the noun has not already been explicitly referred to, then itu cannot be used. However, if the noun is implicitly expected from the context, then nya can be used. Example 3c, Nyonya Waters memesan makan malam. Paha kalkunnya di meja. Mrs. Waters ordered dinner. The turkey drumstick is on the table.